Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. Machiavelli, The Prince. Chapter 18. When someone provokes you and you instantly defend yourself, you may feel strong. But sometimes, that reaction reveals the emotion you needed to protect. They may not need your confession. Because your face moves first. Your voice changes first. Your timing exposes you before your words explain you. And that is where the test begins. The hidden pattern is simple. Most people think the insult is the attack. It is not. The real attack is the pressure to make you respond too fast. Someone says something sharp. Someone questions your loyalty. Someone makes a small accusation. Someone ignores your effort. Then watches your face. You think the moment is about proving yourself. But in many situations, the moment is about reading you. They want to see what makes you tense. They want to see what makes you explain. They want to see which word changes your breathing. Most people react. You observe. That is the first separation. Imagine a workplace conversation. Someone says, "No, I was not nervous. I knew exactly what I was doing." Now the room knows something. Not because the person admitted fear, but because the defense arrived too fast. The speed became evidence. The tone became evidence. The extra explanation became evidence. A calm person does not rush into that trap. A calm person pauses. Now the pressure moves back into the open. Not aggressively, not disrespectfully, strategically. Because you are no longer bleeding information through speed, you are choosing timing. And once you choose timing, you stop being controlled by the first emotional wave. The bait may still exist, but it no longer owns your mouth. That is the pattern. The person who reacts first often reveals first, and the person who observes first often decides what the moment becomes. Most people fail because they confuse reaction with strength. They think a fast answer shows confidence. They think defending every accusation proves innocence. They think silence makes them look weak. So they speak too soon. They explain too much. They answer questions that were never asked in good faith. And they reveal the emotional cost of the provocation. This is not about becoming cold in a cruel way. It is about not letting every outside pressure control your inner state. Because provocation can affect the body before the mind catches up. Your heart may speed up. Your muscles may tighten. Your voice may sharpen. Your face may show what your words try to hide. Modern psychology research by Puhala and McCloskey studied links between provocation, physiological reactivity, emotion dysregulation, and aggression. The lesson for this script is not that one reaction proves who you are. It does not. The careful lesson is this. When provocation activates the body, emotional regulation matters. Because without regulation, a moment can move from feeling to reaction. From reaction to speech, and regret often begins with one sentence said too quickly. The fastest response is often the least strategic response. You may know this from your own life. Someone sends a message that sounds disrespectful. You immediately type back. You do not answer the message. You answer the emotion. Then, minutes later, you read your own words and realize something. You gave them more than they gave you. They sent one line. You sent a paragraph. They asked one loaded question. You exposed 5 private feelings. They applied pressure. You provided the map. This is why most people fail. Not because they are weak, because they have trained themselves to prove, explain, and defend before they observe. They let discomfort become instruction. They let disrespect become a command. Silence is not punishment. Silence is space. Space lets your body calm down. Space lets your mind return. Space lets you decide whether the moment deserves a response at all. Machiavelli's line matters here, because it is not about pretending. It is about understanding visibility. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. That is the dangerous truth of social life. People rarely see your full intention. They see behavior. They see timing. They see tone. They see what escapes you under pressure. This reflects a Machiavellian idea. Public appearance shapes judgment. And in tense moments, your reaction becomes part of that appearance. You may be honest. You may be right. You may have good reasons. But if your response looks uncontrolled, people may judge the appearance before they understand the reason. That does not mean you should fake who you are. It means you should protect what does not need to be exposed. Strategy begins with controlling what you reveal. When someone provokes you, the first question is not, "How do I win?" The first question is, "What am I about to reveal? Am I about to reveal fear? Am I about to reveal insecurity? Am I about to reveal anger? Am I about to reveal that this person can move me on command?" That question changes everything. Because now the goal is not revenge. The goal is restraint, not domination. Discipline. Machiavelli studied how people judge power through surfaces. In your life, the surface may be a meeting, a relationship argument, a group chat, a comment section, a tense conversation. In all of those places, people judge what they can see. So the strategic person does not throw every feeling into the open. The strategic person notices the feeling first, then chooses what deserves to be seen. Most people explain, you withhold. Not because you are hiding the truth, because not every room has earned access to your inner state. Not every accusation deserves your full emotional file. Not every provocation deserves the privilege of your immediate response. That is the reframe. You are not refusing to respond. You are refusing to be pulled. The power shift begins with one pause. Not a dramatic pause. Not performance. A private interruption between emotion and speech. When the provocation lands, do not answer instantly. First, breathe once, slowly. Let your face settle. Let your shoulders drop. Let the first wave pass. Then observe, what exactly was said. Was it a question, an accusation? A joke with a hook inside it? A public test? A private concern? Do not treat all pressure the same. Some people are confused. Some are careless. Some are upset. Some are testing your reaction. Your job is not to attack them. Your job is to recognize the room. Before you answer, ask yourself one question. Why was this asked this way? That question protects you. If the question is honest, you can answer calmly. If the question is loaded, you can slow it down. If the question is invasive, you can set a boundary. If the question is bait, you can refuse the bait without creating a fight. Control is quiet before it is visible. Here are the safe moves. Pause, breathe, observe. Ask a clarifying question. Delay the response. Answer only what is necessary. You can say, "I need a moment before I answer that." You can say, "What are you trying to understand?" You can say, "I am not going to respond to that tone." You can say, "I will answer the actual issue, not the accusation." You can say, "This is not the right time for that conversation." None of these are revenge. None of these are manipulation. They are boundaries. They keep you from turning pressure into exposure. And they remind you that silence is not punishment. Silence is not cruelty. Silence is not superiority. Silence is the gap where discipline returns. The mistake is thinking every sentence needs a sentence back. Some sentences need a breath. Some need a boundary. Some need distance. It does not. Some need nothing. When you stop reacting on command, you stop teaching people which button works. That is the power shift. Not making others obey. Making yourself unavailable to emotional control. Now apply this in real life. First, the workplace or social group. You are in a group setting, someone says. You are quiet today, something wrong. It sounds harmless. Maybe it is. But the room is watching. A reactive person rushes. No. Nothing is wrong. I am fine. I am not upset. Now the attention grows. The defense made the question larger. A strategic response is smaller. You pause. Then say, I am listening more today. That is enough. You did not attack. You did not over-explain. You did not open your private state for public discussion. You answered only what was necessary. Second, a relationship or friendship. Someone says, you always get sensitive when I mention this. That sentence can pull you into defense. You may want to prove you are not sensitive. But proving you are not emotional while emotionally reacting usually fails. So you slow down. You breathe. Then you say, I am willing to talk about the issue, but not through labels. That is clean. That is safe. That is a boundary. You are not punishing them with silence. You are refusing a frame that turns the conversation into your personality. If they care about the issue, the conversation can continue. If they only wanted your third, an online or message conversation. This is where many people lose control. A message arrives, short, cold, maybe disrespectful. You feel the urge to answer instantly. Do not let a notification become a command. Read it once, then leave it. Breathe. Return later. Ask, what response would I respect? What would still look controlled tomorrow? Maybe the answer is one sentence. Can you clarify what you mean? Maybe it is a boundary. I am not continuing this conversation in that tone. Maybe it is no response until the next day. Silence is not punishment. And timing protects you from becoming a screenshot of your worst minute. That matters. Because online, a reaction lasts longer than the feeling that created it. The emotion fades. The message remains. The comment remains. The recording remains. So your restraint is not weakness. It is reputation protection. It is privacy protection. It is emotional discipline in public form. And every time you practice it, the pattern changes. You stop being the person who can be pulled into performance. You become the person who chooses the stage. The shift is not becoming silent forever. That is not strategy. The shift is knowing when speech serves you, and when speech exposes you. A reactive person answers pressure. A strategic person studies it. A reactive person defends their image. A strategic person protects their state. A reactive person lets provocation decide the timing. A strategic person pauses until the timing belongs to them again. This is not about being emotionless. It is about not giving every emotion a microphone. You can feel anger without handing it your voice. You can feel fear without letting it write your answer. You can feel insulted without performing injury for the room. That is the discipline. The next time someone provokes you, remember the first move. Not a comeback. Not a counterattack. Not a long explanation. A pause. One breath. One moment of observation. Ask yourself, what am I about to reveal? Then answer only what deserves to be seen. Because once your reaction becomes visible, people may judge it before they understand you. And that is why the calmest person in the room is not always the one who feels nothing. Sometimes, it is the one who refuses to leak what they feel. If you want the next strategy, study the moments when people pressure you to explain yourself. Because sometimes the trap is not the accusation. It is the explanation you give afterward. You observe. Most people explain. You choose what is necessary, and when they wanted your reaction, give them your discipline instead.